Hello, I'm Gregory Floyd, President of Teamsters Local 237. Before we get to our program, I'd like to take a moment of silence on behalf of the members of Local 237 whose lives were lost to COVID-19. "2020 will not be missed. It was a year none of us will soon forget. The destruction of so many lives and livelihoods will last for years, and for some, it will last forever. Like so many of you, I've tried to wrap my head around questions of such tragedy could happen so quickly and to so many, without warning or plan for a fast way back. It's very painful to think about what should have been. Instead, I choose to think about going forward. And to do that, I'll use one lesson learned from this crisis. In a crisis, there are people who rise to the situation. Those people know the risks and take them on anyway. Those people show up. They can be counted on. Those people know that so many others rely on them and that they can't let them down. Those people know that they don't always get thanks they deserve. Those people are you. So on behalf of all New Yorkers whose lives you made bearable during these horrific times, thank you. And going forward, I have hope because of people like you. You've shown the best qualities of humanity and the best qualities of the human race, shared by only a few: reliability, resilience, caring. And I'm not the only one who thinks so. Next, I'd like to introduce and hear from some New Yorkers' most effective, hardworking leaders in government. They have always been on our side fighting for issues that matter to most of us. Senator Chuck Schumer, Congressman Gregory Meeks, Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul, New York City Comptroller Scott Stringer.
Hi everyone, this is Senator Chuck Schumer, and I want to wish everyone at Teamster Local 237 a healthy and joyful holiday season. You are the frontline workers in public housing and beyond, working every day through the hardest of times. I thank you for your extraordinary dedication and professionalism. To my good friend, one of New York's great leaders, Greg Floyd, thank you for all the work you've done to lead Local 237 during this turbulent time for working families in our city. It's been a long and painful year for New York, the greatest economic crisis since the Great Depression, the greatest health crisis since the Spanish pandemic flu. And it's a crisis that has disproportionately impacted Black, brown, and poor communities. The naysayers were quick to question if we'd be able to bounce back after falling down. To those people, I say, you do not know the hardworking men and women of the great Local 237. You do not know the resilience of one of the largest locals in the entire country, a union that makes New York proud and fills me every day with enormous gratitude. I promise we will fight every day as hard as we can, as you have fought so hard for us. In Washington, we'll work fully to invest in our public housing and public mass transit. We'll work to protect workers' rights to organize. We'll push for workplace safety, better wages, stronger benefits, better health care, protecting our healthcare workers and everybody else. And together, we'll make sure that nobody ever forgets it's union workers who saved New York when New York needed help the most. I promise you we'll get through this awful crisis together. We've been counted out so many times before, only to come back stronger than ever. And with you leading the way, I know we'll do it again. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and a good holiday season to all of you.
Hello and happy holidays to all of our Teamsters Local 237 members. And let me start off by saying thanks to my friend, your president, Gregory Floyd, for his exceptional leadership. And a big thanks to every one of you at Local 237, to whom we owe a deep debt of gratitude. You know, as we approach the end of 2020, we look back on a year that was extremely difficult for all of us, but especially hard on all of our frontline workers who kept going throughout this pandemic to keep our city operating. New York was the epicenter of COVID-19. We all lost friends and family, neighbors and colleagues, but we still persevered together as New Yorkers, as we always do in times of great difficulty. And I'm tremendously grateful for every one of our municipal workers for their hard work and sacrifice. And I wish that I had the honor of being there in person to thank each and every one of you for all that you've done. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. Already we're beginning to distribute the vaccine. And in the meantime, I'm fighting in Congress to make sure we pass relief for the final mile of the pandemic. And I'm fighting to make sure that Congress provides state and local funding so that we can maintain budgets and continue to provide essential services across our city, state, and nation. Though this holiday season will be certainly different than the last one, we are all in this together. And we're in the final inning now. Remember to stay safe, stay warm, and have a very happy holiday season. Thank you all. Stay healthy.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul. I want to wish all my friends at Teamsters Local 237 happy holidays. I'd like to thank President Greg Floyd for your friendship, leadership, and partnership over the years. The support of Local 237 has been critical as we work to combat COVID-19 and overcome the challenges of this unprecedented crisis. This has been an extraordinary year, where many of your members have had to endure being on the front lines of this global pandemic. Pre-COVID, labor members and tradesmen working in New York City government, as well as in our libraries and schools on Long Island, haven't been properly acknowledged for the critical roles you've always played. Finally, you are receiving the recognition you justly deserve. As essential public workers, you are among the heroes of this pandemic who keep our buildings safe and open. On behalf of the governor, myself, and all New Yorkers, I want to thank you for carrying us through this crisis by going to work every single day despite the risks. You know, we've accomplished a great deal in New York together, but we still have a long journey to go as we recognize the systemic racial and cultural barriers to social and economic justice that remain. We know that over 40% of our frontline workers are people of color. They're also disproportionately impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. We're going to continue to ensure that we keep everyone safe. And as we're seeing infection numbers increase across the state, this holiday season will be unlike any other. Many of you will not be able to see your loved ones during a time when we usually be gathering with our family and friends. I understand how difficult this is. But as New Yorkers, we're strong and we're tough. And I know that we can and we will get through this together. As we reimagine our state in this post-pandemic future, part of that vision is to build back better. With Teamsters Local 237 helping lead the way, I am confident we will succeed. Thank you and happy holidays.
Hi, I'm New York City Comptroller Scott Stringer, and it's my pleasure and privilege to extend my warmest holiday greetings to the International Brotherhood of Teamsters Local 237. I always say New York is a union town. The history of New York is not complete without the countless contributions of proud union members. As we all know, the COVID-19 pandemic has turned our world upside down, and Teamsters Local 237 has been on the front lines of this pandemic. You've put yourselves at risk and stepped up for this city when it needed you the most, and we are better and safer because of all of you. I'd also like to thank Gregory Floyd for his amazing leadership. He is a true champion of our city's working families. As president of the largest local in the 1.4 million member International Brotherhood of Teamsters, Greg Floyd represents a diverse group of thousands of New York City public employees. We believe in the power of organized labor, which built the middle class. Every New Yorker deserves a fair and fighting chance to make it in our city. Thank you once again for your hard work and dedication to the communities we call home. I stand with you and your families every step of the way and wish you a happy, healthy, and joyous holiday season.
Thank you, Senator Schumer, Congressman Meeks, Lieutenant Governor Hochul, and Comptroller Stringer. I appreciate you taking the time to speak to our members. As our broadcast draws to an end, I'd like to offer you, your families, our best wishes for a better new year. And my hope is that despite the changes and restrictions we now live with, you are able to take some joy during this holiday season, knowing that you have earned the love and admiration of so many.